his own lance, brought it up to deflect the other, and struck the French knight cleanly on the shield. The blunted tip lodged in the leather facing. The shaft, bowed, tried to tear free of William's firm grip, then snapped. The Knight of the Red Star vanished from his saddle. Now the rest of the English formation struck home. All around, horses screamed, lances splintered, men yelled. William dropped his lance stub, drew his sword, and methodically buffeted anybody not bearing the English leopard badge on their helm. The French company broke apart like pottery shards on an alehouse floor, each knight riding wildly for safety. The English knights went whooping after them, chasing fat ransoms. So much for the plan. William reined in. The Knight of the Red Star had gone, along with the horse. "God's teeth!" He took a deep breath and roared, "Come back, seigneurs! Fall in!" He glimpsed his friend through the trees. "Sir Baldwin, to your king!" Baldwin vanished deeper into the light woodland. Beside him, King Henry the Younger laughed. "Come on, Marshal. I want some ransoms too." His horse stamped and shuffled, sensing its rider's mood. William grabbed the junior monarch's bridle. "It was you who wanted to win the tourney, sir. Give them a moment, they'll come back." They sheathed their swords and swigged water while the sounds of fighting drifted back from the woodland. William sighed and tried not to think about the ransoms the other knights were scooping up. "I'm sure they will come back soon, Marshal," said King Henry with mock solicitude. "After all, they all respect you." "Ha!" said William. "I wager the town is unguarded, sir. Let's win the tourney without them." "Serve them right," said King Henry. "Just you and I, Marshal." He spurred his horse ahead. They trotted down through the trees and through the open gates of the little town of Annay. It was not really much more than a village, with a flimsy palisade and a small marketplace. Every shutter and door seemed tightly shut against rampaging knights. William wondered what the inhabitants thought about their town being chosen as a tourney objective. King Henry nudged his horse ahead. "On my soul, Marshal, I think we might have won." "Sweet Jesus!" Infantry filed out of the buildings and stretched across the marketplace. Dozens of men with spears, some nervous-looking archers, plus a massive man-at-arms who carried a two-handed Danish axe cocked over his shoulder. This giant wore what looked like good-quality mail, but did not seem to be giving orders. With his broad-brimmed kettle helmet and a blonde beard that bushed over his armour, nobody would mistake him for a knight. But what kind of man was he? Now a mounted knight rode out to take up a command position just to the rear of the infantry with the market cross behind him. William glanced over his shoulder in time to see the town gates swing shut and some servants scurry out of the way. "At least they don't have crossbows, sir." King Henry reined in. "This isn't fair." An edge crept into his voice that harked back to his family's reputed descent from the devil's harlot. William patted his destrier's neck and waited. Henry's rage could go anywhere. The trick was knowing when to nudge it in the right direction. "I mean, we can't get through them," continued the young king, sounding shriller, "but we can't go back either." The French knight, behind the screen of infantry, swung his shield off his back, ready to fight. The shield's face was painted red, with a golden lion that flashed in the sun. William recognized the device of Sir Simon de Neufle, one of the favourites of King Louis of France. Was there more to this? William shrugged. How steady were the infantry? There was only one way to find out. William drew his sword. "So help me God, we'll charge them!" The young king laughed as if it were the funniest of jests. He was still laughing as they urged their horses into a gallop. Hooves thundered on the packed earth of the street. Cottages blurred past. The infantry scattered like chickens. Sir Simon de Neufle dropped his lance and turned his horse away down the main street. William galloped after him, whooping. That gold-painted shield suggested that he could collect a pretty ransom from the French knight. The big, blonde axeman sprang into William's path, covering Sir Simon's retreat. For an instant the man's wide-brimmed kettle helmet made him look like an iron-shod mushroom. Then he roared. The massive Danish axe windmilled at William's horse's head, and he knew with a shock that the tournament had become a real battle. The beast shied. William shifted his leg to continue the swerve. The broad axe head whooshed past, missed the horse. The blade bit the road, splashed grit and stones. William lashed out.